Hello. Thank you for joining me for Samuel in Springtime. Today is May 4th, Tuesday. It is so May the 4th be with you and also with you. And also, it's my birthday. May 4th is my birthday. I got the special Star Wars birthday. It's also my mother in law's birthday. So happy birthday, Barbara McGee and Emily McGee. So it's fun to share a birthday with my mother in law and with the special Star Wars fans. But today, though, May 4th, Tuesday, May 4th, we are looking at the fourth chapter of the book of Samuel. And this is when things get a little sticky for the Israelites and for also for everybody involved. So, remember I mentioned the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, maybe it's just a box. They get defeated. They lose about 4,000 soldiers from the Philistines in battle. And so they say, well, let's just go get the Ark of the Covenant from Shiloh and bring it and have it with us, just in case, to help us in battle. And so they do that. And when they bring the Ark into the camp, the camp where the soldiers are, a great loud shout goes up from the people encamped there. A great loud shout goes up, and the Philistines hear it, and they say, "Ooh, what's that about?" And so I'm sure there's camp spies going back and forth. They find out that the Israelites have brought their Ark of the Covenant to the camp and to the battlefield, close to the battlefield, where the camp is. And they get scared because they know what has happened before, how their God has protected them against Pharaoh in Egypt and all the things that their God has done for them throughout all the years of their history. And so the Philistines get a little scared, and then they have this pep talk. They have this pep talk that says, hey, you better fight like nobody's business, because unless you fight, you will become their slaves, like they were in Egypt. And so they all listen to the pep talk, and I guess they fight as hard as they can. They kill 30,000 or more soldiers of the Israelites, and they capture the Ark of the Covenant. I know, you didn't think it was going to go that way, did you? Right. You think that this ark is so powerful and it makes the donkeys talk and there's all this stuff going. I mean, if you just read, I told you to read Judges. Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant is a very, very important thing. And the Philistines take it. They steal, well, they don't, they take it rightfully because they killed everybody. And they experience this great massacre at the hands of the Philistines. And they take the ark. And guess what else? Two very significant individuals, die by the sword in the battle. Hophni and Phinehas, sons of Eli, the scoundrels. So they're gone. And in this chapter, in chapter 4, we learn of the death of Eli and the birth of Ichabod. So the sons of Eli leave widows, naturally. And one of the widows, the widow of Phinehas, I believe, I'm trying to remember whose widow it was. It really doesn't matter, but yeah, Phinehas. So Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, it was pregnant when this battle happened, and she conceives and bears a son. And she is on her deathbed after the childbirth, and she says, she names the child Ichabod, meaning the glory has departed from Israel because of the loss of the ark. So her husband dies in battle. They take the ark, and Eli also dies when he learns of the death of his sons, and that the ark had also been captured. He fell backwards And I would imagine he was sitting in that chair that enters the temple where he was when he saw Hannah and thought she was drunk. And he falls backwards and he breaks his neck and he dies. For he was an old man and he was heavy. So it gives you an image of what Eli might have looked like. He had judged Israel for 40 years. He was in charge for 40 years. And this does not get passed on to his sons because they've already died. So he learns of the death and he learns of the ark. I'm reading outside of the scripture now and saying that Eli felt he could die because everything was going to be okay because Samuel would be in charge. And that's what happens when Eli dies. Samuel becomes in charge next. Even though Eli does have a heir now because he has got this Ichabod son, it would really go to Samuel because this child's just been born and Eli's dead and they need to have a priest in the temple at Shiloh. And so that's what happens. So here's Samuel. He is in Shiloh. He's now the priest because Eli's dead and there's no Ark of the Covenant. But the story doesn't follow Samuel here. It follows the Ark. So tomorrow we will learn in chapter 5 what happens when the Ark is taken into enemy hands. So stay tuned. Take care.